John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go.
A fairy tale, they say, real in every... Are we on? I don't see us. Okay. I'm Christina.
I'm Kim.
I'm Holli.
And you might notice that there's a delay on that screen, so don't even pay attention. And you might notice I've got two different people sitting next to me. Desi Lou is out visiting her grandbabies, so we'll see her next week. And Maria floats in and out, so, you know. Anyways, Kim here is a good friend of mine. We are part of a girls group that meets once a month to chit-chat and cause trouble, and I talked her into coming and joining our show today, so I'm pretty excited. Honestly, that's going to drive you crazy looking at that stupid screen.
I've got to quit looking at it.
It will.
Okay.
And so my next guest is, I am sad to say that I met her in a bathroom at the Westgate Casino, but over eavesdropping on somebody's conversation and just butting in, which is what I do. So that's how she actually ended up on the show. But Holli is an electrician, and she's been working at the World Resort, which is opening, I guess, Resort World in a couple of weeks, and it is going to be the biggest casino or newest casino.
It's huge.
Yeah. Well, she was an electrician on site during the construction, and I thought it would be really interesting to have her on and share her story about being an electrician. There's 2.4% of all electricians in the United States are women, so very small slice of the population is wiring, right? So is that what you wanted to be when you grew up? Was an electrician?
No, this is my third career.
Oh, okay. Well, what was your first?
I went to college for accounting after high school.
Here we go with the accounting. Okay, would you rather poke your eye out with a pencil than do accounting?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I actually worked for an accountant for 7 years.
Yeah.
Just doing his bookkeeping during tax season so he could focus
Been there,
on
done that.
taxes. I'm not a cubicle type of girl.
Yeah, no. You're social.
I grew up in Maine, and I moved out here in 98, and it was the middle of tax season, so I couldn't find work. So I ended up starting in home health care, worked my way up, and I was in the medical field for 20 years. My ex-husband and I had an electrical contracting business in Arizona, and I worked with him, and I got interested in doing electrical.
Like the wiring, right? Like
Yeah, we
the
did.
fishing through the wall. Okay.
We
the
did
whole thing.
houses and new houses and pools. I love doing pools. I did those by myself.
That's good to know, because my pool's got a lot of work, needs a lot of electrical work, actually. No, that's a whole nother thing, a whole nother show. Anyways.
But we split up in 2007, and you know, when you divorce the boss, it's kind of hard to keep working. So I went back to the medical field for a while, and then I moved to Washington and was living with my parents for a little bit.
Oh, that's never fun.
It wasn't bad. My parents are great.
My parents are too, but I don't want to live with them.
But my stepdad talked me into joining the union up there.
Oh,
He was a
okay.
union carpenter.
Interesting.
So I got into their apprenticeship up there.
Okay.
And after about a year, I decided I didn't want to live in Washington anymore, and I put in for a transfer and came back here.
So put in a transfer where?
In Washington with the union.
Oh, so you have to do that to work with the union here.
Yeah, both unions had to approve it. And since it was the end of my first year, I hadn't been sworn in yet up there because they do it a little differently. So I moved down here and I got sworn in here. So I've always been a local 357 girl.
Okay.
So
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a very controversial question. And I guess I'm going to know your answer, but maybe not. Okay, unions. So there was a time and place where unions, there is a time and a place when unions are needed. But don't you think sometimes they cause more problems than not?
how's that?
Like, holding out on work. Right, I think during COVID they held out on going back to work because of hazard pay.
There were a lot of people still working during COVID.
Really?
Yep.
So you think that
Work
might have
didn't
been
stop.
fake news or something? Did you hear it?
Everybody, that wanted to work was working during COVID, from my understanding.
I know
stayed
that
home for a little
the
bit.
teachers union, they said, dictated to the CDC or whoever kind of rules and regulations for what kids could be in school, what kids could do when they did go back to school, that type of thing. And
Really?
and that we felt like that was probably out of place for the union to step in and do. So just that was one thing I heard, and I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I mean,
She's a teacher, just in case. Yes.
we don't want to say where I work.
No,
though.
I'm not going to. But she's a teacher. So.
Now, there's a lot of pros and cons to unions, and there's
Right,
two
okay.
sides to every story.
Right.
I'm on a couple of blogs with IBEW people, and they go back and forth all the time. Some love it, some hate it. I, for one, I appreciate not having to pay premiums for health insurance.
But you have to pay for union dues, though, right?
You pay union dues, yeah.
Oh, by the way, it's my birthday. That's why we were drinking champagne.
Yes.
Happy
Happy
so yeah,
birthday.
not to interrupt, but
Cheers.
here's to 48 again.
48 and Holli.
Couldn't resist. Okay, so I'm glad that you say that you feel like there's some pros and cons. My great grandfather actually was part of the first carpenters union in Philadelphia way back in the day. His name is on a wall for starting, being a member of starting the contractors union. I'm sure it's much different today than it was when they first rolled it out. And I do believe that there needs to be protection for employees or
They're the ones that gave us the 40-hour work week and our weekends off,
right.
things like that.
Yeah, and which really set the pace for the rest of the working world. Like, they really. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I mean obviously there was a place and time where we had to have unions. Somebody had to step in and help us. But sometimes I just feel like there are pros and cons, and there are times when they are in there and not doing maybe what they should be doing. Maybe they're giving too much money to political contributions, and whereas that money, where should that money be better spent?
Well, and the other side of that is they have meetings. We have a right to go and voice our opinions at any time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We
It's
have
a
union
First
meetings.
Amendment right, yeah.
So, I mean, if we have a problem
Oh,
with anything
union
they're
rights.
doing, we can go to
Oh,
the union
you can go to the
meetings.
meetings and voice your concern. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about, so it's an open forum. I mean, I think it has to be set up that way. Like, otherwise it would be just a dictatorship, really.
Right.
So it's really a true democracy.
Yeah, they have meetings all the time, and they have, they have to vote on things. And
Right.
we renew our contracts every few years
Yeah.
with the contractors.
Yeah.
So we can make changes or voice our opinions of what we want changed.
Interesting.
Like where our raises go to. Do we want it all on the check, or do we want some in our pension? And
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, and I think that that's good. I just don't think that they should get involved in politics. I just don't think they should. I think think that what you just said, I can go to meetings. I think that we, as the people that live in the United States, as Americans, they should do the same thing. They should have community meetings, community votes. If there's a major decision that has to be made, I think that our politicians should be asking us how we feel. Do you ever get polled? Do you ever?
I have never been told.
Nobody asks me what about. I mean,
I always see all these, the polls have got this percentage, and the polls have got this, and the polls have got that, and I'm like, who's getting polled? Because it's never me.
what?
I
Right.
think our politicians tend to forget they work for us.
Yeah, but that's how I think our government, at least on the local level, is they should have community meetings, and things should be mentioned, transparency, and then they should take an informal poll to see how we feel. Maybe he's not. Yeah, you're right. He's not working for himself. Although, I mean, most of these guys go into politics with less money than they walk out with. So, I mean, how shady are they? But I think that we should. We don't have a say. We really don't. We elect these guys, but they don't listen to us. So, Christina for governor of the state of Nevada. Anybody want to back me?
I would vote you. I would
Oh,
vote for
of
you,
course you
definitely.
would vote me
You
in.
know I would vote for you.
Well, why would you
get
vote
two
for me?
votes here.
3.
3.
I got
There you
you.
go.
Okay. I don't think that would be enough. But I think me personally, probably has more experience than our current sitting governor, honestly, and that's not saying much. So, yeah.
He's, obviously right now I don't know what the polls are saying, because once again, I don't feel like I ever get polled.
Right.
So I'd like to know who's getting polled. But yeah, I just think if you knew honestly, just talking to people, I mean, nobody likes Sisolak. And I just feel like,
He was Reed's lackey. Who was the governor before? Harry Reid. Harry Reid.
I've only been here 2
yeah, I
years.
think so.
Oh yeah, Harry
So-
Reid was and he was not.
But I'm just saying, going out in the general, and I mean, I go out all the time, and I have all these different friends that I talk to, and it's like across the board.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican. They're all so dissatisfied with his performance. So,
Yeah. Well, what has he done for us lately? But I will tell you, I lived in Utah before I lived here. I ran a voting cycle in Utah, and I get pulled all the time from
Do you?
Utah politicians all the time.
Really?
Wow.
All the time. Utah's a red state. It's conservative. It's Republican, mostly Republican, and I get pulled by both Democrat politicians and Republican politicians, at least once a month. So,
Really?
just
I take it back. I did get a phone call before the presidential election, and they wanted to know. They had a bunch of different questions about the people running for other seats, and I didn't know.
oh, I
enough
got that one too.
But I didn't know enough about any
Yeah,
of
do
them
you
to
know?
be able to have an
yes,
opinion.
I got that one too. Right before the election, and I think what they were trying to do is just bring awareness to that guy's name, whoever was running.
Yeah.
It's more kind of like
Because, they didn't actually say the other person's name, the other running mate's name. They would just say, do you know the names of any other running mates?
Right.
So they didn't actually put the names in our head. But, yeah, it was a very sly way of doing it. But I wanted to I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do a poll. Yeah, please poll me. Nobody, but all the polls in the news were, my numbers weren't in there. Nobody asked me. But I think it might just be either the lack of organization of the local politics or lack of interest, because I got polled in Salt Lake City. I still get them
Really?
because I was on their voter roll. So,
And it's funny because a lot of small towns will do community meetings
yeah.
about things that concern the community, but you don't see it in the bigger cities.
No, but neighborhoods, that's why they have, what do they call, districts.
Maybe they do have them and they just don't announce
Well,
it. 'Cause
what
I've never
voting,
heard of it.
when you vote by district. You vote,
Right.
right. So those districts are your communities. They're typically,
But they don't have meetings
no.
where you can
So you should
hear-
plan the meetings in your district, and you should plan the meetings in your district, and I should plan some meeting. Now that COVID's over, I am totally going to have all my neighbors on all the blocks around me over to my house, because that pandemic taught me that I need to know who my neighbors are in case
Right.
there is some kind of crazy ass zombie
Oh,
apocalypse.
I've gotten to know quite a few of my neighbors
somebody
during
The
that.
aliens
green or
invade.
yellow.
Well,
My next door neighbor, my next door neighbor actually, I found out works for the same company I do.
right. So you need to know who your neighbors are. And I've lived here only 3 years, and I find Las Vegas very, very, you're not. Yeah, it's not community. It's like when I lived in Salt Lake or Philadelphia, everybody knew everybody on the street. In fact, most streets had 5 or 6 families, same families on the street. But here it's just so. It's
Yeah.
just not. So I am in my little neighborhood. I'm gonna nominate myself the mayor, and I'm gonna have a party so everybody can get to know each other. Start making an email list, and if there's an emergency,
Yeah.
who's got the guns? Who's got the food? Who's got the we need to know.
That'd be my house.
We call it
Yeah, mine too.
the block.
The block, yes. But
block party.
I'm also attached to the people behind me. Also, are my property line is attached to there, so I feel like I need to know the people behind me. Now, the people behind me this time last year, I ran them out because they threw a dead dog in my pool.
Oh,
Is that horrible? That
that's-
just had babies.
that is
Oh,
awful.
goodness.
Yeah, and there's no
You
way.
report them?
I ran those motherfuckers out of the house is what I did. I put loud ass speakers on the, oh God, yeah, I just played
That is animal.
metal music 24/7
So
until they
I'm
left.
sure there's something terribly illegal about that. I don't know if the dog died
Oh, they just didn't want
naturally,
They
but
just
to
at first,
dispose of it
they
that
don't
way.
have any dirt in their yard. They didn't want to have to pay to have the county or whoever pick it. They just threw it over the fence, over the wall. Yeah, isn't that horrible?
That's hard.
I still have some PSTD from it, but they are gone. And just for the record, that those people that did throw the dog in my pool, they had Bernie Sanders signs all over their house that they were renting. So, don't know what that means, but
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Just thought I'd throw that out
They're
there.
not there anymore.
No. Oh no. Yeah,
Because
no.
I'm going to raid them right now.
Well, I put a curse on them. I like literally sucked sage out of their environment and sucked all their good shit into them. Like, who does that? You know, I thought it was a baby. I thought it was a child because I'm rolling my pool. I'm rolling my pool,
That's
The cover.
and all I see is blonde hair, curly hair. I collapsed to my knees. I'm like, oh my god! And I was the only one home. I'm like, oh my god! And I kept rolling and I kept rolling. I'm like, oh my god! And I saw his paws. I'm like, oh my god, it's a dog! And I just burst out. I just broke down and started crying.
Yeah,
Like I was just gonna go out and do a couple laps. Was so happy and blah 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 blah. And then boom! I'm like, ah! Like,
can
and it was a
even
Friday
imagine.
afternoon
Yeah,
at
that's
5
horrible.
o'clock. Like I had to like keep the dog in the summer in the dead of heat. I had, it was just.
I can imagine.
I no, it was bad.
That's not a really good thing to see.
I mean, and we've all had those, just weird experiences where we realized that somebody was being inhumane to an animal. And I mean, obviously, your job is to report it. I mean, I was in a park one time and somebody had hung a cat. Of course, I immediately, called the
Oh my
police and
God.
let them know. But I mean, then I've got to turn now and explain to my son and his buddy why what we saw, and
Yeah,
how do you,
that-
talk to children about why somebody would do something.
Yeah, how do you
like that.
explain that?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
shit.
Well, that's horrific.
Yeah, you see other people's mistakes or fault is like we're taking it and explaining it to our kids what happened. It's just there. That steps are just. Not
I've told my son from the get-go, there are evil people in this
Yeah.
world.
There are.
And you just need to stay away from them
Yeah.
as much as you can. Sometimes you might not be able to, but you're not evil because you just know somebody when they're evil. They've got that look in their face,
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get right back to Holly. Okay, another question for you. So, being a woman, okay, how did you get into the? Because you're in the union, that's why you got sent to that casino, right?
Yes, I was in their apprenticeship for 5 years.
I know that you have to be in there. They really do train and skill.
You go to school 2 nights a week. You start, at a basic wage, and then you work your way up. You get really good raises every year until once you finish the 5 years, you go to journeyman wage. And I actually just turned out in 2020, May, last year. I finished my apprenticeship.
Oh,
I didn't join till I was 40.
oh, that's okay, right?
Well, 20 years in the medical field, and then
Well, so okay. What's the typical age when people join, though?
there's a lot of young people
Oh,
doing
okay,
it
so it's-
nowadays.
okay.
There's some older.
Okay,
I worked with a lot of older guys that were still in the apprenticeship.
right. Oh, really?
And
Okay.
there are some women. There's I couldn't even
2.4%.
tell you how many were in my graduating class, but there were at least 6 that I know of that graduated with me.
So there's probably more and more every year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you're working. Okay, let's start with the union. Do you ever feel that being a woman puts you in a disadvantage being in the union?
I've always felt like it's hard for me to ask for help because
Okay, that's on you though.
well, yeah, but being female and trying to live up to I don't want the steps. Like
I would think they would want you though, because they're always striving to have more balance. And like my son, he's dating a mechanical engineer, and there are not very many women mechanical engineers.
Right.
And they actually
Maria,
used
look that
her
up. How many
to.
mechanical engineers there are?
They actually used her to like go out and promote in the colleges for other girls to become, because they wanted more equity or more
Right.
equality or whatever you want to call it. They wanted that balance of not 99% male and 1% female.
But there are always going to be some industries where it's just that's the way it is. I mean, I work for a grout restoration company. We have no franchises that are owned by women.
None.
Well, I don't want to clean my bathroom. I certainly don't want to clean somebody else's bathroom. Like, so I just but all of the executives are women.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, obviously, the teaching field, there are a lot of women, and throughout history, it's been a heavily, female industry. But I like to say that probably explains why we get paid so little.
yeah, wow. You get paid really little here, but in Pennsylvania, those teachers get paid a lot of money.
Oh, I know.
So I don't know if all teachers get paid bad.
Well, I came here from Oklahoma, and
Okay.
Oklahoma is like really low.
They don't charge any sale. Like, the most I've ever paid in property taxes was in Pennsylvania. All that money goes to schools. My son went through the middle school, up until middle school, and got an outstanding education. But we paid up the ass for our taxes. I mean, my property taxes here are $900.
Yeah.
That's not going to help get
Wow.
education going.
My youngest son, who just graduated from high school, I was telling Kim that he graduated with an advanced honors diploma and got high honors. He had a 3.98 GPA.
Wow.
He wants to be a math teacher.
Nice.
Yeah.
I always push the trades, though, as much as college ever. Because
And I agree.
there were 7 of us kids, and I was explaining how really the 2 with college education are probably the 2 that made the least amount of money.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? I have brothers and sisters who went all different ways, and they all make more than I do.
Well, I decided to do both, and I'm glad I did because of some health issues. I've been out of work for a little bit, and depending on the outcome, I don't know if I can go back to being an electrician. but
Right.
I was going to college at the same time as I was doing the apprenticeship.
So within the last 5 years?
Yeah, when I first moved to Washington, before I joined the union, I had started going to school online to get my bachelor's in healthcare administration.
Oh, okay.
Because I worked in the medical field and I thought that would benefit me.
Right.
But I just wasn't making enough money. I was running an adult care home making $13 an hour.
Yeah.
so
Isn't that
that's-
weird?
I
And the
joined
health
union.
industry is so...
People's lives in my hands, giving
and
them
doctors
their meds and
they're-
everything.
everything's so out of control price-wise, cost-wise.
Right.
But the ones that are actually hands-on taking care of people get
Right.
paid the least.
I know, it's crazy. But I joined the electrical union, and I said, I dropped out of college the first time around when I was going for accounting, because
County sucks.
I was raising a child by myself and working 3 jobs and trying to go to college,
Right.
and it was just too much.
Right.
And I swore I'd always get back to it. Well, 20 years went by in a blink.
Yeah,
So
I
this
know.
time I was like, no, I'm going to finish this, even though I'm doing this as well. So I was pulling double duty, going to college online and the apprenticeship
It's a lot
classes.
less. It's a lot easier without kids running around, though, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my oldest is 31. My youngest
Oh.
just turned 18.
That's quite a
Yeah, they're
spread.
13 years apart.
Same baby daddy?
No.
Okay.
No, I was 16 when I had my
Oh,
oldest.
yeah. My mom had me when she was very young.
And my first husband was the father of my second child. So, yeah.
I
they're-
think every relationship has a shelf life, and I think it's about 7 years. I'm just saying.
I think you're right.
I know. Why fight nature? I don't know.
I better keep my mouth
Yeah.
shut.
I was married
I
the
just
first
come out
time
of
for
a
7.
35-year marriage, so.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, no. I just came out of a 15-year relationship too. So my philosophy. I don't live by my own words. That's for sure.
I just came out from a 1-day relationship.
I know. One day. One day. And we're all paying for it.
That's that Tinder.
Maria's been on a roll.
We don't count those Tinder
Well,
relationships.
we're like, well, oh yes, we do count them. What are you talking about? Tinder's real. Maria dated a guy for a day, and she has
7
been.
days.
Oh, 7 days. Okay,
Did
she
you-
has
oh,
been.
a week.
She dumped his ass, and she has been on a terror ever since. Like, it's been like, she is on fire. I'm like, I'm going to tiptoe around every single thing I say to Maria. Yes, Maria. Yes, Maria. Yes, Maria. Yes, Maria. Because.
I just spoke with my therapist last night.
Oh, good. Okay, that's making progress. So now the first step is awareness.
You're not in denial.
No, I'm not in denial. I've been in denial for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, she has been a royal bitch. Like, she's been running over people. Her posts have been very aggressive. I'm like, what is going on with this one? You need to smoke some pot. She walks away. Anyways. Okay. Actually,
funny.
we need
That's
to...
a kind of a rule for me. I never let anybody I date be on my Facebook. You can't see.
Oh,
no.
I'm not on Facebook. But I do think that it might be time for a break.
Yeah.
Yay.
Made me laugh.
Because I'm looking at that and I look 25 pounds bigger than I am.
I know.
What?
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
As we continue to grow and build a brand, social media shows continue to develop and discover new possibilities to help one another. Our affordable services will help us move to the next level of our journey. Host your own show to inspire or entertain others for as low as $150 per month.
You have 20 shows a week, live stream.
We are looking for sponsors. We showcase your business products and services on our network to be seen by your target market for as low as $200 a month.
That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations.
Let us promote and advertise your event, giving your venue the red carpet treatment. This platform allows venues that feature entertainment, singers, bands, DJs, comedy, fashion, corporate events, and family events to be showcased in a new direction that also involves your audiences starts at $200 an hour. We also provides video editing, website builder, commercial video for your business, music videos, photography, provided by our affiliates. As we build our community, we pay for organization GI Connections is all about giving back to our community. Join us create outreach programs to help our community and live a happy, peaceful, and unity. Let us bring the world to you.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. We've reached the age of live streaming on social media shows. You may ask, we're already ahead of the curve, so why do you need to advertise with us? Well, only 8% of the businesses in the US are using digital advertising to grow their business. That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations. So get your brand ready for digital monetization, for we are looking for sponsors, which will bring more traffic to your business and ultimately mean more sales. So let's bring the world to you. Inquire now.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.
Listen, check it. Trying to build a bridge, instead I burned it down. I tried to lift them up, but found me beating them to the ground. I was too weak to face my pain. Caught up in the flood that was my rain. We both moved on, but my heart remains there. Oh, what I put you through.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm.
A fairy tale, they say, real and never.
And we're back. And here, oh God, you guys, I've already drank all your wine. I haven't even done that.
You should ask me. I will bring it to you. Oh gosh.
No, I got it right here. I'm the hostess with the mostess.
Where's mine?
I just gave it to Kim.
Give that to her.
Yeah, okay. We have a guest in the studio, but he doesn't get one because he's a boy.
He doesn't drink.
Oh, he doesn't drink. Well, that's kind of
It's
not
it's all
fun.
your photos.
It can be not fun. You want some of mine?
There you
I see
go.
the Holli
You're
soup.
so
God, girl.
skinny.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for noticing. Because I gained about 11 pounds of COVID weight. Thank you very much. Okay, back to us. Okay, I got one last question for Holli. Okay, so when you were on site at the Resort World.
There's an S on the end of that. It's
Resorts World. Okay.
Yes.
Did you feel being a woman put you in any kind of disadvantage, or did you
No.
feel uncomfortable? Because
Not at all. Honestly, there's some old timers out there
Yeah.
that have been working in the industry for many, many years that probably still don't appreciate having women on the site.
you
But
think
they're
that
few and
boobs
far
would make
between.
everybody happy. I don't know.
I have not had to deal with sexual harassment or anything
Nothing,
of the
right?
kind.
Oh, please sexually harass me. That's what I said.
The guys have been great.
Yeah. Just kidding. Well, I think I would. Yeah. No, I'm happy to hear this because this is a woman empowerment show, but I don't feel like I need to be empowered. So I don't feel like being a woman has prevented me from doing anything. I do believe that my mom and her mom probably paid our ticket to what we've got now, which I'm very grateful for. But I think everything's pretty on the even.
I mean, there's been some younger guys that be like, hey, let me get that for you. And It's very sweet, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, I would
but-
just take that as I'm an old lady and they're young kids, and
Right.
that's how their mama raised them.
Hey, they were raised right.
Right? Yeah. So,
So now,
take the help.
yeah, my first day as a journeyman, my foreman said, I'm going to have the apprentice here carry your ladder to where you're going to be working. And I was like, really? It was just really cool because I was the apprentice on my last job, and then I started this one, and I'm the journeyman.
Right.
And I was usually the one
One carrying the ladder.
So it was really cool.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So wait, so it's an apprentice, and then it goes up to journeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Journeyman.
And then a foreman is in charge of all the journeymen and
Okay.
apprentices and gives out the assignments of what they want them to do,
Interesting.
and you make a little bit more money as a foreman.
Okay, yeah. Well, I would imagine the more responsibility, the more money. So that's I think it's interesting, and thank you for sharing your story because I want to get it out there that us women don't need no fucking help from anybody. We got it. We don't. I don't feel like I can't do anything because I'm a woman. I mean.
No, and I mean, if you're tiny, sometimes it's hard to do some of the work. I mean,
physical limitations, that's physical.
But at the same time, I worked with this one girl, we used to call her Miney Mouse, because she could do anything I could do.
Right.
And anything half the guys could do.
Right.
And she was this tiny little thing. She couldn't have weighed more than 100 pounds.
Yeah. Big, little dog, big bark.
I'm 4'11".
But being smaller, I end up getting put in all of the small spaces. I had to get a confined space certification, so they can stick me under the floor and up in the ceiling.
Oh,
and,
but that's because you're little, not
Right.
a woman.
Right.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've seen on a site?
Crazy?
Have you seen any dead bodies or dug up any dead... Oh,
Have you ever torn into a wall or a floorboard and found money?
No.
I had a friend who used to work for, she worked for Sears, and so they would send these work crews out always, and they would do windows or carpets or whatever. And she was always telling me stories about how they would go into these older people's homes and they would start tearing apart a window frame and there'd be like all this money in the wall.
My great-grandparents hid money in their walls, in their floorboards.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
No, but I did the remodel on Thunder Down Under's venue.
Oh.
And I found one of their hats up in the ceiling.
Oh, no G-strings?
No, just one of their cowboy hats. It was a red cowboy hat with a star on it. And one of the guys started doing some trot around the floor wearing it. I'm like, don't quit your day job. But it was funny.
That's the only that's the only thing you found there? Nothing else? Good? Gosh.
If I was going to find something from Thunder Down Under, it would not want...
I thought it would have been a condom wrapper or
something.
Nothing like that.
No? So you don't have any wild or crazy, everything's been pretty tame.
For the most part.
Very disappointing.
It's fun.
Well, I was kind of like you.
Dang
I had
it.
multiple careers. I didn't become a teacher until I was 35. So I spent quite a few years. I've spent a few years as an airline stewardess. Very traditionally
It's a
female.
flight attendant.
Yes, I know.
It's not a
That
stewardess.
that dates me as to how old it was because it was called stewardess when I did it. In fact, when they started calling it, they called them FAs. In the beginning, and all I could think of is that's fat ass. I don't want to be an FA.
Oh, I didn't want to be an FA either. I don't want to be an AF, not an FA.
Okay,
As fuck,
when I did
yes.
fire alarms, we were called fags. Fire alarm guys, fire alarm girls.
Oh.
I was like, and that is so politically incorrect.
Oh,
nowadays.
yeah. That ain't
so
happening,
bad.
yeah.
Well,
wow.
whenever you teach any European literature, they're going to smoke a fag, and the kids are like, "What?"
Right.
But that's what they call a cigarette. So
I know.
it just depends on where you live and what you've been exposed to. So
Right, exactly. But that's pretty funny.
yeah. But after that, then I went into import and export documentation, and I worked for a company that kind of shipped stuff and brought stuff in all over the place, and that's what pretty much put me through college. Work days, went to school nights, and then took about 5 years off to be a mom. Had a baby, and
Most rated, underappreciated job in the world.
But
Did I
now-
take a month off when I had Danny?
Oh, well, you're hardcore. I took 2 years.
I feel so sorry for any woman who is trying to have a baby and work full time. I mean, it's just, my hat's off to you.
Choose wisely who you fuck is that moral of that story. Choose a man to have children with that will help you.
Yes.
Sorry, but it's true. Like, Yeah, just because they're good looking don't mean they make great dads, right?
That is the truth.
He's a good dad.
I'm not. Yeah, no.
He does.
I didn't mean him.
Unfortunately,
exceptions.
parenting is not a profession that we have to qualify for.
No application needed.
Anybody
Psych
can do it.
eval, something.
No psych eval.
There's
No.
no manual. To it.
No manual either. Yeah, and it lasts for the rest of your life. I mean, you're a parent forever. Like, my kid's 22. I'm still like, oh my God, I still feel like.
Well, I just had both my boys out seeing the band play on Saturday because my son graduated from high school Saturday, and we snuck him into Westgate, and
You didn't
we
hear
didn't
that
sneak
here.
him in. It's a casino, but it's a hotel.
Hotel, yeah.
So he wasn't at the bar or anything.
Yeah, so
and he
give
wasn't
another shout out
drinking.
to who?
Blue
String
String
Theory.
Theory.
Okay.
Oh,
Local
that band
Las
was
Vegas
great.
band.
Best local
Band
band
ever.
80s rock. They were
Wonderful
amazing.
They are
guitars.
playing on
talented
Fremont
guys.
Street
Keyboards.
this weekend. Yep.
And the lead singer's so dynamic.
And
Oh,
cute.
Westgate Saturday night
We
or
should-
Friday nights and Fremont Street
Saturdays
Saturdays
and
and
Sundays.
Sundays.
We shouldn't be sleeping that night. It's your birthday.
It's my birthday month, so
Yeah, so
we
should
party
just-
all
yeah,
month
party,
long.
yeah.
June 1st to June 30th, y'all got plenty of time to get me my gifts.
Everybody parties on my birthday.
Because it's the 31st. Oh my
New
God!
Year's
You're
Eve.
Were you the New Year's baby?
No, you got to be the first baby of the new year, which in the small town I was born in, they gave you a little cedar jewelry box. And my dad was like, oh, hell no, she's having that baby before midnight. He wanted the tax write-off. I don't want no cedar jewelry box. I want that tax write-off.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He swears that he had mom in the pickup. He was driving her back and forth over the railroad track. She will have that baby now.
Oh my God! Wow!
So yeah, I was born an hour and 15 minutes before the new year.
Wow!
So, yeah.
Interesting.
I know. So everybody parties on my birthday.
Yeah.
My stepdaughter was a Christmas baby.
That sucks.
It kind of did. So we used to do a half-year birthday
My
party in
son's
July when
birth-
she'd
yeah.
come out and stay with us.
We do that for my son. His birthday's on like December 17th.
Yeah, we'd have a pool party or go to the beach
Yeah.
because we lived in Lake Havasu.
Right. And more people could come because
Right.
it's in the middle of the summer and yeah.
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 She always liked that.
Well, like I said, I pretty much celebrate all month long. Although this is quite a difficult birthday, I guess. Like, I don't know, because 48 is really tough.
No, you're 38 and
I do not look 38. Like, let's be real. Like,
No, you are.
no, all the Botox in the world would not make me look 38.
Yes, you are.
Okay, all right.
don't care about the
What's the
world.
time? What are we on time? My phone is dead.
We are 10 minutes to go.
10 minutes
oh, no,
to
it's
go.
not. That's wrong. 20 minutes to go.
Okay, so I guess since we've last aired, the world changed. Like within 4 hours, the whole world changed. Las Vegas is completely opened up. We met each other at a show, which was one of the first to happen since I don't even know when.
They played like July 4th weekend and the weekend after and then got shut down again. Before
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
it was March of 2020.
Yeah, so, well, I went to Fremont Street on Monday night, where at midnight.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, midnight. The
1201.
1201. All of the stages on Fremont Street, they all lit up and all the bands started playing. And I literally had tears rolling down my face. I'm like, oh my God, I never thought this day was going to come back because I'm a Fremont Street rat. Like,
Yeah, I love Fremont.
Oh, me too. So it was like, and ever since then it's been, everything's open. If you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. They can't ask you if you're fully vaccinated. Nobody's asked me if I am or if
Well, it's
I'm.
none of their business.
Well, I don't.
Your
HIPAA,
personal
yeah.
medical history is no one else's business.
Yes.
Well,
Try ask me. I'll sue your ass.
guess what? I got so many other things to
I
talk
don't know how
about.
that works with HIPAA laws because your name and birth date is the only thing really.
Well,
on those
HIPAA
cards.
protects you from health care.
Right, it doesn't really say.
Protects you from the government. You don't really have any protections from the government at this point. They pretty much have us by the
And
balls.
avoid it.
I don't know. When I worked in a nursing home, we weren't even allowed to put their names on their doors.
Wow.
you know, because that was a HIPAA violation.
Oh, so
So I
because
don't know.
even people in the really, well, you would know though. Okay, what does HIPAA cover? Does it cover anybody speaking?
It's the Health Information Privacy Protection Act.
Right, but I thought it
So-
protected you from other healthcare getting information and using it.
Okay, say your mom's in a nursing home and you know something about one of her roommates, and you're talking about that person in line at the grocery store. Her daughter's behind you. You're breaking HIPAA. You're violating
And
HIPAA
I'm not-
right there by talking about this
Oh.
woman in public.
Okay, that is a very important part. So not a healthcare worker, you, and then you're visiting your mom.
Right.
You don't work at the hospital. You're not a healthcare provider to anybody at the hospital. But if you talk about their health, the woman,
You're invading her privacy right
and so
there.
you are okay. So it does not stop at the healthcare industry.
I mean, I don't know what kind of, if they could find that
But you-
person or anything like that,
No.
unless you do work in the healthcare industry.
I know
but-
that many years ago, my mother went into the hospital and my stepfather didn't want to let us know. In fact, as he put her in the hospital, he told them that she had no children, and she had 5 at the time. We found out that my mother was even in the hospital by by a sister-in-law who was a nurse there. And she ended up eventually getting fired for letting us know that our own mother was in the hospital.
What?
If he had power of attorney or anything
Yeah.
like that,
Oh, he had
then
full control.
I have the
Then he has the
rule
right.
right now.
Okay.
The HIPAA privacy rule establishes national standards to protect individuals' medical records and other personal health information and applies to health plans, healthcare clearinghouses, and those healthcare providers that conduct certain healthcare transactions electronically.
Okay, let me read that. Okay. The HIPAA privacy rule establishes national standards to protect individual medical records and other personal health information and applies to health plans, healthcare clearinghouses, and those healthcare providers that conduct certain healthcare transactions electronically. The rule requires appropriate safeguards to protect the privacy of personal health information and sets limits and conditions on the uses and disclosures that may be made of such information without patient authorization. The rule also gives patients rights over health information, including right to examine and obtain copies of their health records and to request corrections. So the rule gives patients rights over health information, including rights to examine and obtain a copy of their health records and to request corrections. So patients can request records.
But not the
Right. Nobody else can get their health records unless they give permission.
But then there's literally a page of modifications.
yes.
But it's health
But
information,
but
privacy,
the
and
Accountability
accountability.
Act.
But see, now my son, going back to, he's in dental school, and he could not return to school without proving that he had been vaccinated. But I understood that. I mean, you're in somebody's saliva, you know?
Well, in school, they require certain vaccinations in order to attend. So
I know, but
there's
this isn't-
loopholes and all of that.
This isn't,
But just somebody walking down the street, you can't really ask them if they're vaccinated or not.
no, or somebody walking into a 7-Eleven. I don't,
I mean, I carry my card in my wallet, but
yeah.
I got it done and slept for a week. That was my only side effect.
Yeah, well, I had the
I was
virus.
so tired.
I had the virus too.
Well, Rob and I had it last year, February last year. I thought he was going to die. He was on the couch for 3 weeks, coughing and hacking. And
Yeah.
It just hit
Temperature of
different people
100.
Yeah,
differently.
I just lost my sense of taste.
I think the only reason he made it through it is because he was sleeping on a wedge pillow. So he was upright, so he didn't end up with pneumonia.
Vitamin D is what it takes to knock that shit out and keep it away. So you cannot die from COVID if you have a certain level of vitamin D in your
Well,
system.
this was before they really knew what it was.
Oh, okay.
So, like, they diagnosed
Oh,
him,
so
him
last
with
February would be
2020.
That's when I had it,
Right.
and they diagnosed me as upper respiratory infection.
Yeah, they told him he had a sinus infection. Took him back a week later to urgent care, and they said bronchitis.
Mm-hmm.
It was what it was. He tested positive for the antibodies in May, so he definitely had it.
So he still got the vaccine,
Yeah,
even though he has the antibodies.
They don't know how long the antibodies stay in your system.
Well, you don't get the measles twice or the mumps twice.
But you have to get booster shots for all of that stuff every few years, or
every
the
15
flu
years.
shot you have to get every year.
Okay, well then that's not an.
So
that's not
they
a
don't know
vaccine.
enough.
That's
they
just.
don't know enough.
And I think it's
yet.
your personal choice. You know, if you feel that way, you have the right to go get any vaccine you want.
Right.
And I don't even have the right to question you about it.
Well, my son and I went and got it for him, and then he finally decided to go get it.
Right.
We're like,
It's a personal choice.
thanks.
Yeah. How do you feel about it? Research it for yourself. You know?
Yeah, and with my son and I, like I said, the only side effect we were super tired.
Really?
Like he slept so much, I was afraid to let him get his second dose. I was afraid he was going to slip into a coma.
Really?
Because all he was doing was sleeping.
How old is he?
18.
Yeah, they need a lot of sleep though. So you don't know though.
That
It
just
is fine
happens.
now.
They're
It's-
growing.
That champagne is pretty good.
It is
Not
tasty.
bad.
Not bad.
Well, and it's a little warm in here with these lights and everything, and so it's like, oh, got to cool down somehow.
What time is it? Oh,
Yes,
we're
we
good.
are.
We're good. Okay,
So
so
we're going to talk about your birthday party?
my birthday party. My birthday party is going to be ending at Rockstar Bar with Get Cocky, a Kid Rock cover band. That's playing 9:00 at the Rockstar Bar. That's where my birthday party will be.
Cool.
So be there.
Even I just get the end, okay? Because
Be
of
there
the-
or be square.
No, I'm
I saw Kid Rock a few years ago.
Oh, I
Ran
love
into
him.
him at NASCAR.
Oh wow.
There was a female band up on the stage at the food court, and they hauled him up on stage.
Oh, he's a good sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it ain't cocky if you can back it up. Right? Okay, so TGI Friday, have a good weekend. And next show, we will have a great guest, Dr. Crispino Santos. We'll be here talking about hormones and all kinds of juicy stuff. So tune in next week. We're done.
A fairy tale they say, real in every way.
Hi, my name is Ty, and I am a fashionista.
Hi, my name's Dolly Wright, and I'm a singer, but I waitress for a living.
Hi, I'm Alicia, aka Catalina Winehouse with Ichigo.
Hi everybody, my name's David Thomas. What I am is a QMHA. I work with people with mental health issues, and I also do a Tina Turner show with the Big Elvis Show at the Piano Bar.
Hi, my name is Maria Pureza Leviton. I am the founder of Social Media Show.
Hello everybody, I am Kiki Dolas. I am the CEO of Are You It Entertainment here in Las Vegas, and I'm also a club owner.
Hi, I'm Latoria Kern, founder and director of Family Arts at Wayla's Creation.
Hi, my name is Dawn Weir. I'm the founder of The Giving Water, a local nonprofit that delivers water to disasters and people in need.
Hi, my name is Dolores Olsen. I'm a home-based business person for Zija and for Beachbody. Also, I'm a chaplain.
This is Bettina Steinhauer. I'm a clothing designer and manufacturer bathing suits.
Hi, my name is Jessica D, and I currently work for one of the biggest properties on the Strip. I'm also a PhD student, and I own a jewelry business on the side.
Hi, my name is Jamie Springer, and I am a eyelash extension technician or artist.
You can